and thank you for tuning in to Life, Love, Marriage, Divorce, the podcast. I am your host, Monique Davis Dotson, with my beautiful co-hosts, Tina Jones, Brie Henderson, and Kim Porcher. So we are going to dive right in. The popular talk show called The Talk on CBS had quite a bit going on. Number one, they have a hiatus going on, an internal investigation based upon Cheryl Underwood asking Sharon Osbourne a question about her friend Pierce Morgan. Give everybody, who may have not seen that particular clip that I'm talking about. How did all of this get started?
Well, all of it got started when Sharon was defending her friend Pierce. And Cheryl just asked just a simple question about Pierce being racist and how did she feel? And then Sharon just got just she just went crazy.
Yeah.
They had to go into break. Uh, Cheryl handled it like a trooper, though. She was wonderful. And later we found out why she handled it like a trooper, because she was saying that there's many people in the workforce that go through stuff like this, and she didn't want them to look at her like, the angry woman that, just yells and screams, and she just wanted to keep her composure, and she did the whole time, which was, I don't know if I could have done that. I don't know. No.
Yeah, Sharon was pretty irate towards
Oh
Cheryl,
yeah,
which was just
yeah.
really uncalled for, and yelling at
She was
her.
a
Everything
pretty
so unprofessional.
uh,
Um,
calling, well, not even calling her names or anything, but when Cheryl was getting emotional about it and about to cry, and she was like, you don't need to cry. If anyone needs to cry, it's gonna be me that's crying. It was just so unprofessional.
yeah, and it
Just
seems
so unprofessional.
Yeah, it seems like she just made it more about her than about the
Sure.
topic of what was going on. Brie, what did you think about this?
I think that Cheryl handled it with so much dignity and grace. It was just amazing. One, she's constricted. She's in that corporate environment. So she's thinking in her head, I got to stay in my place. I got to stay in my lane. I'm more inclined to get fired than this one. So she's
Well,
confined
also, Brie,
in
I believe that's true. I believe that because Sharon is one of the original cast members. So Sharon is at the top, and Cheryl, not so. So yeah, she really had to hold her tongue. You're right.
Being in the corporate world myself, there are things that fly past me that if I was not within myself and knowing my boundaries, my lane, girl, I'd have been fired. Been
Exactly.
fired. But we have those corporate constraints. We want to say things, but we don't say it. We see it being played in our government. You know what I'm saying? What I thought that should have occurred was Cheryl should explain the situation and asked her, okay, what is your opinion? Her response should have been is, I understand. I understand how you feel, and I understand how you may interpret what you're hearing from Pierce. He is my friend. I'm defending my friend, but not what he's saying. So by her not clearly defining that, that left the lines blurred. She didn't declare, hey, Cheryl, I understand what you're saying. I understand that this is sensitive. I understand that Pierce is upset as well, but right is right and wrong is wrong.
And she did
But
say,
she,
I will say this. She did say that she did not agree with what Pierce said.
okay.
And Pierce,
Also said that, Monique. She said it that you guys please educate me. I want to know, educate me. But she wasn't trying to listen when they were
was
trying to
not trying
educate.
to listen. So to me, that appeared to be more of an anger management issue that she had outside of that show and how she responded. Because she did say, educate me. And she did say that she did not agree. And I think what you were saying, Brie, is that a lot of people don't see themselves as they are representing themselves. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? It's like, okay, but you're not hearing me. You're saying that you're listening, but you're really not listening.
Exactly.
You say educate, but you won't be quiet enough for me to educate you. And really, I think, time constricted Cheryl and being able to educate her
Mhm.
in their little segments. I think the CBS should have done a better job and not brush under it the next day and let them have a whole show about, if we're going to be real, like educating, then talk about it. And they
But
just kind of ignored, in my opinion, they just kind of ignored, that opportunity to talk about it the next day.
But I will say this, she played the ignorant card. You know why?
Exactly.
By saying, educate me. Look at Black Lives Matter. Look
Yes.
at what has been going on. Look at the topics of that show, the talk, over the last 2-3 months, that everything has been transpiring with the Black Lives Matter, all of the systemic racism, all of that. Those are been pertinent conversations that they have dug into at that table. She's being educated every day. So to say that you don't have any education all of a sudden because the tables turned on you, and she said that she was blindsided because nobody told her what the topic was going to be. So she was off the cuff, standing in her truth. Yeah. If you don't get to rehearse it, what do? You stand in your truth. So my thing is, you can't use that because you've been educated.
Correct. She deflected, and she did later tweet that she panicked and she did feel blindsided and she got defensive. So she almost felt that she was being attacked because that was her friend. She put herself in Piers Morgan's spot. Like, I'm feeling it. This is my friend. You're attacking me.
Yeah, she said it. So she sat in that chair and she said that you guys are attacking me.
Correct.
She felt it.
She panicked. And so she just went with it. It was like an off-air moment for her. Like, you're not going to attack me, nor you're going to attack my friend.
Right.
And during their commercial, she was trying to just get rid of the whole segment. But CBS was like, no, we got to finish this up. So,
well, then, I bear some responsibility on CBS because shouldn't she be aware of what they're talking about? So are they trying to create issues, or they actually wanted to talk about it, but they knew that she would be too sensitive to even agree? So that says a lot right there.
Ratings. Says ratings.
Yeah.
It says ratings. That's it. You're going to put somebody that has been a vital part of your show in a predicament like that and put another one against them. It's all ratings. For them not to give you the script, prepare you for that, that was all ratings.
Yeah.
Well, also she's just not innocent. There's, she's not, Kim. You if you're laughing.
No, I'm laughing because I know that she's not. And
it's not innocent. I mean, she, like you said, she called Holly and Leah ghetto.
Correct.
And she's been known to call Julie Chen, one of the original hosts, something about her slanted eyes or something.
Allegedly.
Being Asian.
I don't know.
She also said some words to the other girl, Sarah Gilbert, about her being, gay.
Allegedly.
So allegedly, yes.
We don't know.
So, that's why I believe that, they have to investigate. They have to. I mean,
what has happened from there? One of the original cast members, Holly Robinson Pete, who's a dear friend of yours, came out and stated on her Instagram that Sharon was the cause of her being fired, and made the comments. Now, Holly would know, I have to say allegedly, about ghetto being ghetto, about her. And so now with Holly's Instagram post, the show is on hiatus because they're doing an internal investigation based on these, allegations to see what in the heck is going on over there. Tina, what do you know about that situation when Holly was on the show?
I do remember having a conversation about her being fired, but what I remember was it was uh, Julie Chen and it was Sharon. It was both of them. So, and I do remember having a conversation with Holly about um, um, like jealousy, because Holly, I guess wasn't as well. I guess Holly was more famous than both of them, right? I have no clue, but she got the big known people. She got the Oprah Winfrey. She got the big known people, and a little jealousy set in when CBS can't get them, but Holly Robinson Peake can get her.
Mhm.
It's a little jealousy.
Kick stand like this.
Exactly, it's a little jealousy. So, that didn't work with
Kick
Julie and
stand.
CBS.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well,
I
I guess,
remember having that conversation with her.
yeah.
But again, Monique, you can say allegedly.
I say it because they're doing their investigation.
Exactly.
Until we know all the tea,
Yes. Yes. You're right.
like come messing with our little show. We just having conversation.
We just have a conversation.
Let's move on to Kirk Franklin.
Oh my goodness. I need a drink. I mean, I might need
Let me get my little
not one
pen.
drink. I had to pull out the margarita. That was, oh, wait a minute. Let me take a drink.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
What you have, Kim?
I guess we
Oh, it's getting hot.
oh my gosh, I know, right? Okay, so Kirk Franklin and his son, okay, they have this toxic relationship according to Kirk Franklin. Well, they had this big argument in which the son recorded Kirk Franklin cursing and going off, right? And posted it on his Instagram. So Kirk Franklin Kirk Franklin made an apology on his Instagram for the way that he talked to his son.
For
I
what?
have a lot of different, okay, I'm just kind of, like the son did that intentionally to hurt his father. Kirk Franklin,
We've all been cussed out by our parents.
and so
Why
that,
you
okay,
put it out there?
so let's put it out there. Go ahead, Tina.
Put it out there. We've all been cussed out by our parents.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Absolutely.
If you really listen to that tape, when Kirk Franklin is, telling him off, the son, he was saying F you to the father. Did you guys hear that
right.
part?
Yes.
F you. I can listen to it. He said F you. And then he kept saying, well, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do? Or well, it was like he was egging him on.
That's
Yeah, because he was being recorded. So
Yes.
he knew he was being recorded. He knew what he was doing.
provoking.
Exactly. On. And in that, I heard it, and Kirk went off. Okay.
Yep.
And in that, I heard him say, "You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to disrespect me."
Right.
Which he was already doing. And so I felt like he was edging him on. And this is how I feel about this. Okay. Kirk Franklin had just a breakdown and like, I can't take this anymore. And he went off. He just lost it. Okay. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's okay to go, say some of the things that he says. I'm not saying that, but I'm just trying to say that parents are human too. And if you have a child edging you on, there is a possibility that you might lose it. My question is, do you think that he should have apologized?
I don't think he should apologize to his fans, his friends, or whoever on Twitter. If he was going to apologize to anyone, apologize to your son. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't apologize to Twitter or, I'm sorry, Instagram or whatever it was. There's no way. I wouldn't do it.
But you think that he would have had to make some kind of statement, being a public figure, to just let that go on?
Well, you can make a statement, but you don't have to apologize. Like you said, we're all human.
And that's what he said. And it's exactly what he said, is that he's human. So before he's a, public figure, pastor, gospel artist, he's a parent, and kids take you there. and you
Exactly.
don't know what their history is.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean to cut you off, Tina.
No, no, no. You're
You don't
fine.
know what their history is, and I know firsthand when you're in the industry, your kids are entitled, and you get tired.
Exactly.
So I mean, I don't think I would have apologized to fans. I'm human.
Yeah.
That's what I would say as any parent, um, any person with emotions and feelings, and your kids get on your nerves. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And if they push you far enough, you'll go there.
Go there.
What
I
about
don't,
you, Brie?
I don't condone the language.
Mhm.
I applaud him for being real in his circumstance. I mean, that's whatever was transpiring was provoked. You can hear it even at the end. He was like, "Did you say you're gonna break my leg or something like that?"
Nick.
Um, I think that all he had to say is, "I'm human, and this is a private matter between my son and I."
Mm-hmm.
Period. It
Period.
also shows that there is some things that he's been dealing with his son. So there might be some mental issues that he doesn't want to explain, for that to even go to some kind of uh, that catalyst, for a parent and a son to be at that point. I did hear him say, "Well, I'm grown." Well, that makes me question, at what point do our children think that they're on the same level as us? To say that I'm grown and that I can match your MF to my MF. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I question. I'm like, wow, where did he lose control there? So I don't think that it belongs to the public. I think that all he should have said was, "Hey, this is a personal matter between my son and I. It did get out there. We do owe an apology to some degree. You got to say something, or everybody will take it and put it the way that they want to."
Correct.
Um, so that spin could have been awful for him, but he jumped on it immediately, dealt with it, and I say, good job, Kurt.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that he apologized. And I say that because so many people look up to him, especially young folks, to be able to say, "Hey, that wasn't my best self, and because I didn't give it to you who follow me, I do apologize for that behavior." That's not something I would normally do. I was provoked, and now becomes a teachable moment. He ministers through his music. He inspires people. And I think it's good to be able to show your human side. Now, we don't like to show all of our flaws and, that ugliness that can come out. But if it can bring, you know, uh, them to the table to heal their family, as well as other people who are dealing with the same issues. We all have been in that image box, right? Everybody thought everything was okay. It was beautiful. You drive by, you got your big house, your cars, they associate, winning or, seeing your husband on television as that your life is great. And we go along with smiling and, going along even when it's not. And I think to have that real moment to say, "Hey, I apologize," because God has given him a platform. They say too much given, and so with the much given with Kirk, he has to do some things differently than
I
most
think,
people.
I'm sorry, the most prominent thing that stands out is his teaching, and this is accountability.
Yeah.
He held himself accountable, which is a very difficult thing for people to do. And then he'll take it to God and ask for his forgiveness. But that's what he did. I'm standing accountable,
And
and that's maturity.
I agree with you. And my prayer is that they can work through this, because obviously there's some things going on with that son. To
Mm-hmm.
even put his dad out there on blast like that, that was just, that's hurtful to him intentionally. That says a lot. But my hope and my prayer is that they will be able to repair that relationship and allow it to be a teachable moment for so many people whose child may be gone, astray from the family, or they've had some issues with not only your child, it could be anybody in your family, that there is a possibility, that we can heal from it. Okay. All right, let's go into sports, ladies. What's going on in the sports world that's sticking out to you? A lot of these quarterbacks, I know, I see you smiling, Miss Kim.
Drew Brees is gone. He is gone
I wasn't smiling.
fishing. Drew Brees is fishing now.
Drew Brees retired after 20 years.
Yes. I'm an Atlanta fan, so the Saints, they'll do okay with Winston. They'll do okay with him. He'll throw a few interceptions.
Oh,
But
look, that's
What do you think? You think he'll be a commentator? What do you think?
yeah, he has the job already.
He already got the job?
He had the job last
I
year
didn't know
when they
that.
thought he was going to retire. I think he's going to be with,
I didn't know that.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. They thought, because he thought about it last year, decided not to retire. But yeah, he already has that job set,
What about that Brady's extension?
oh yeah.
Brady extended his contract.
Yes, and the
4
Bucks
years.
have re-signed everyone.
And Trump too, right?
Yeah, he's bringing 10 million for 1 year.
Year.
1 year, 10 million.
Yeah, that's called restructuring your contract.
Yeah.
That's called nice.
Called having a friend.
Yeah.
Connect. They pulled him out of retirement and he got paid.
Very nice.
Yeah. They're making room for Sue, and we're good. I think Tampa, hey.
So you think y'all can repeat?
Sure, absolutely. Again, I don't want to hype Tampa up so much because I'm still a ride or die Falcons fan, but
So what's going on with the Falcons?
we're gonna just keep talking about it.
So Dak
Focus on the
Prescott,
local.
y'all saw Dak Prescott, 4 years,
Oh yeah.
60 million. What do you think about that? I mean, it's not like he's led the team to any championships, or I was kind of surprised by that
That's
sign.
a lot. Mm-hmm.
He's good though.
Hey,
Dallas.
more power to him.
That's Dallas for you.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
That's them Cowboys for you.
Yeah, I was just kind of surprised. What'd you think about that one, Brie?
I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I keep watching them put all that money in that team, and they just keep
Losing.
shooting duds. I mean, it's just like give them right. I'm like, they have so much money that they could just maybe it's a write-off. Maybe
It's the Cowboys.
maybe they're just doing a write-off.
It's America's favorite team.
Oh,
Allegedly.
Excuse me. Allegedly.
Remember?
Oh, but yeah, I just thought, wow, hey, Dak, more power to you. Get your money.
Yeah.
Because while you can.
as you know, we are the wives of the NFL, the ex-players and so forth, that they have formed a petition and they've got 50,000 signatures in regards to the concussion program, where they are doing all of the race norming.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
Yeah. So Najee Davenport, which used to be a running back with the Green Bay Packers, is one of 2 people that have gone ahead and filed a lawsuit. And the women of the NFL, they said that we demand that you choose an impartial attorney of record, one that will fight for the rights of all players, not just the NFL and their deep pockets. So what they're doing in this concussion thing, if you're not aware of what it is they've established data that's showing that the criteria for meeting the concussion criteria to get their disability is swayed for the African American players versus the non-African American, and majority of them are getting their concussion settlements, but the measurement is based on, they have an actual different study that is based on African Americans to qualify them, and they're not. So
Wow.
The big thing that they need to fight, because so many of our guys that we're looking at now are dealing with the CTE. So just watching them deteriorate and all the energy and money and everything that they've put into this team, you would think that it would be an even playing field and that they would like to help their players. But it's all about big money, big business.
Of course it is. And that's so unfortunate, but I am, I guess that's something that we need to continue to pay attention to as we go along, Wow, the things people have to go through, NFL, come on, do better, be better.
Do better, be better.
Following Michigan basketball, I have a Orlando native here, so I'm excited about them going into the March Madness NCAA tournament, and I'm excited for Juwan Howard, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for them.
Well, I'm going for Houston. Go Cougs. They won their championship. They're the got placement for number 2 seed. So hey, I want them to go all the way. We'll see what happens.
I'm a Sean D. Brown fan. He's an Orlando native, so go
Okay.
Michigan.
Go.
But
Yeah.
Duke is out. Duke is, it's
Yeah.
not that they're out. I'm sorry. They just, I guess COVID
COVID.
got to a couple of the players or so they had to get out. But
So as we are moving on, I wanted to have this conversation topic of the day, which will be me asking you this question. Do you guys have any regrets about your divorce?
where's the fan? Where's the alcohol, Brie? Come
We
on.
got Brie with the wine, Tina and the fan, and Kim with her wine sipping. All right. Okay. Any regrets? I mean, what you know now, any regrets? Let me hear you.
I think therapy is good. I won't say regrets, but I think therapy and a lot of our culture are against therapy and feel that we don't need therapy to help us get through things.
So you're saying that you regret that you didn't go to therapy? Did y'all not go to therapy?
I regret maybe not pushing a little harder for therapy. And we did go to therapy, but just, working a little bit harder on me personally. Not so much focusing on him, but maybe just focusing on me and what I could have done better.
And just out of curiosity, what do you think that you could have done better in your marriage?
A little more what's the word? Maybe I just say understanding of the vows and what it really means to honor for better for worse. Because I felt that it had gotten at its worst, and I was just tired. I had a Kirk Franklin.
Well, do you think that you would have done that by yourself?
No. I'm just saying for me. I can't speak for
Right.
My ex, but for me, I probably could have done a little more work on myself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Versus just throwing a towel in.
Got it.
Got it.
But I don't know that regret is the word, but I felt that I could have done a little bit more work on myself.
Mm-hmm.
That it was just almost like it again a Kirk Franklin moment. When you're at that level, it spirals out of control and it happens so fast.
Right.
Sometimes you're not able to bring it back in.
Mm-hmm.
It's already out there.
It's already out there. So we can change the word from regret to maybe I could have done better in, this situation. Or if you want to use regret, that's fine. Let's see.
I hate to say regrets because you don't ever want to
Yeah.
live with regret.
Yeah. I definitely understand that. And I guess I would, for myself to chime in on that, I look at the person that I was married to at that particular time.
Correct.
And it may be how I had dealt with situations at that time, the person that I was. Um, so I guess in a way of saying regret, do you regret that you made a decision that you made, to move forward with your life? No, I don't, because at that time, the person that I was married to, that I felt that I was saying, let's work on this, let's do this. I don't think at that time he was ready to do those things to advance us as a couple. And so, I'm sure a lot of people, when they go through divorce, they think about, it could have been, if we would have stuck it out or what have you. I mean, I've done that because I get along so well with him now. It's kind of like, why didn't I have this kind of relationship when I was actually married to him, where we just get along, we laugh or what have you. But I think that a lot of times, you go through life in different stages and everybody's on their own personal journey. And when you do get married, yes, for the better or for worse, I think for worse, for me, that I want to define the worst is that when you decide to go through the worst together, not the worst where one person is dealing and the other person is not. The for better, we're doing it together, and the for worse, that we are talking, that we are communicating, that we're trying to get over this together as a couple. Leaving a person on that island by themselves, that's a bad place to be. But you don't want to throw a life preserver, you don't want to come and be a part of saving this relationship. Then there's nothing else for a person to feel that they feel that they can do based on what works for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy about my children. So no, I don't have that kind of regret. But as far as regretful that we did not communicate as, a couple, that I wish that we would have the way that we communicate now.
I think that I don't have any regrets. I think that my ex checked out a long time ago. Oh, I'm sorry, a long time before I knew it. And that's the regret that I just didn't know. But Kim, when you mentioned about, working on yourself, I think when he checked out and going through the whole divorce I think that's when I started working on myself with, of course, my Lord and my Monique over there, which is my second Lord.
Good God.
Just a vessel being used, all the glory.
Amen.
So I just think that I have no regrets in that way, because like I said, I got to work on me, and that season was over. It's over. That season passed. And I told you guys this before. It's my season. It's time to work on me.
Yeah.
And that's why I have no regrets, because it just really, I'm sorry, it made me wake up, like, gosh, it's like I felt like I was stuck for 25 years. We were married 25 years, and I felt like I was stuck for 25 years because, you really, you take on their lives, and so I have no regrets because I can do what I want to do when I want to do. I just think that probably in my situation, not other people's situation, but I just think that before kids, you have one life. And then after the kids, it's like you have that life, but you have kids too. So you really want to do the stuff that you did before you had kids.
Mm-hmm.
And in my situation, it was just a little difficult. and I'm not saying it's on him. I take the blame on this because I think I put my kids first, and because they need you more. They need you more than your husband.
It's a natural instinct
It
as a
is.
mom to do that.
And I
It's
don't
not
son,
biblically
right,
what it says, but
right,
as a mom's instinct, it's naturally to
right,
gravitate to the kids' needs
right.
versus your
But a
own.
lot of men don't understand that. They don't understand. Well, we used to stay up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning watching TV. Well, I'm sorry, I can't do that anymore. I'm tired.
If I have to get up at 6 and get the kids ready, or I'm up nursing and
Or we used to sleep with the TV on all night long, but I need the TV off because I'm sleepy. But I'm saying, and I just think that, you know, yes, I'm a blame to some of it, but some guys have to realize that, sometimes the kids need you just a little bit more. And I don't think they realize that.
Well, then let me ask you this, because I do agree with you, that I do agree with you that as a mom you have to be that caretaker and you go into that role. Now, when the kids are able to take care of themselves a little bit more, where you can now transition that energy or that attention back to the mate the way it was before the kids, were you able to do that, or did it continue to be about the kids?
Well, in my situation, I think it was always about the kids because we always took on more kids. It
Yeah.
wasn't just my kids, it was other people's kids too that lived with us.
Mhm.
So the downtime was never, what I'm saying. I'm taking on other people's kids, like I was pregnant and taking on other people's kids. So it was just a little rough for me. So when you say, if they see you at home just being a housewife, you're tired. You're tired. We don't get paid. We don't go out and get paid. We got to stay home and deal with the house and the kids. And you just get tired. But like I said, I could have done a lot more, a lot more. So I don't blame my ex, you know, but I had to realize that that was my therapy going through.
What about you, Brie?
My only regret is that I didn't do it sooner. I regret that I didn't listen to myself on many occasions. Um, but my resolve is that it was God's timing. When I look at it now, and had I done it when I should have done it maybe the first time or the second time or whatever, third time, 15th time, I mean, really, it wasn't the timing. But when I did make the decision, oof, girl, it got me shook here. Everything aligned. I was in a marriage that was very selfish. It was all about him. And he'll tell, I mean, that's what he said. I was selfish. So there was no room for me in the marriage. Counseling was not even an option when I did bring that option up. He's like, well, I'll do my counseling, you do yours, and then come to find out that you're putting the work in to try to get the counseling done, and he's doing it online. I mean, doing a general, just auto-populated counseling. I was like, maybe it's just not. Every test that was applied to me, I passed and continued. Then it would evolve to another test and another test. And then I knew that I couldn't turn my skin white. So that's not going to help me there. There was just, without going into a lot of details, because I need to protect myself and everything,
Of course.
it should have been done a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
My regret is that I see how much it hurts my kids, in the sense that they see the family units of their friends, and they long for that.
Mhm.
But that's the only regret for them. I'm blessed to have these amazing children. I'm blessed to have my voice again. That's one thing that I didn't have in that marriage. I suppressed it. But at the end, like Kim was saying, that emotional thing, Um, Everything that I held in for all those years, I let out. I sometimes have, maybe this is a slight regret. Had I let that out in the marriage, had I used my voice in the marriage, I thought maybe that might change. No, it would have probably made him, matter, put me in a different position, and it wouldn't have been good that way. So I handled it the way that I needed to. And when God opened the door for me, I saw it and I said, it's time to go, you know. So
Well, peace is everything. And what I can say is that um, divorce is difficult. Okay. There is nothing pretty about it. Unfortunately, sometimes it's necessary. I love marriage. I promote marriage. So if you have a partner and you're going through a tough time and you are listening to these different, experiences that we share with you guys, it's because we want you to stay married as long as you possibly can, but also be able to be strong enough to listen to your own voice, to get the necessary counseling, but also recognize that you can't do it by yourself, right?
Right.
Um, that's really important. And you can pray, you can wish, you can fast, you can do all the things that I'm sure all of us have done, right? And the result may still be that the union ends in divorce. The most important thing is that how you transition for the sake of your children, how you handle it so you don't have any regrets, right? That's the most important thing. I hope that you get out of that. Okay.
let's acknowledge the women, in which I know there are quite a few that have gotten to the place where their marriage was so broken and they've managed to take all the tools, the counseling, the communication, because they wanted to fight for their marriage and they won. So we want to applaud them.
Most definitely. But you know what happens in that is that they had a willing participant. Um, that makes all the difference in the world. And that's why I was saying at that particular time in my ex's life, he wasn't there for whatever reason. And this other thing people need to realize, they have a right to feel the way that they feel.
Right.
We just wish that it was more, verbalized in the very beginning. But it wasn't. And sometimes people have difficulty with communication. So when a person has difficulty in their own communication and your intuition is speaking to you, sometimes you need to listen to that, right? Correct. And if a person wants you, this is what I do know. If a person wants you, they're coming after you and they're going to do whatever, Tina bowing down, whatever it takes to keep you and protect that marriage, because living without you is way more difficult, than not, right? Than not. So they're going to do whatever it takes. And if they aren't at that place in their lives at that time, there's nothing you can do.
No.
But to now honor yourself and what's going to be best for you as a whole person so that you can be the best for your children.
Amen.
All the time, Monique. I don't want anybody that don't want me.
That's what my daddy said.
All the time. I don't want him.
Daddy taught me that now.
Him.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to get to that point.
Yeah.
Once you get to that point, you're done.
And as long as you know in your heart you give an opportunity for them to get on board. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That's all. I think y'all understand, right? We all on the same. Yeah. If I want somebody that's gonna fight just as hard for me as I'm fighting for them.
Yep.
And then that is when you can conquer the worst together.
Right.
All right.
That's that Harry. That's that Prince Harry.
Yeah. Right, girl.
Prince Harry said,
Deuces.
Prince Harry said, I'm out of the royal home, royal home.
And the two shall become one.
Yep.
Correct.
That's what Prince Harry said.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he said. And we know that it says that you will leave your mother and your father and the two will become one. So Prince Harry That's what, hey, if I had Prince Harry at that time, I'd still be married.
Hey, I'll marry you if you're really a prince. Coming to America, baby. She said, I'll marry you if you're really a prince.
Come to America 1.
Coming to America 1. And Coming to America 2 was good too.
See it, I gotta watch it.
Crazy. Well, ladies, we are going to end with the scripture of the day, which is Proverbs 16:4. The Lord works out everything to its proper end, even the wicked for a day of disaster. And the part that I really want to focus on is that the Lord works out everything to its proper end. You know, many times if you're wondering, why is it that those who constantly do wrong cause confusion, hurt, and harm? Others seem to go without proper punishment or be held accountable for their actions. This is the thing. God sees all. Nothing, past or present, that's going on is a surprise to him. Actions of others may appear not to have any repercussions, but it's all temporary in the eyes of the Lord. The Lord works out everything to its proper end. Therefore, you don't have to worry about what is or what's not happening. As a believer, your job is to remain faithful and put your trust in him. God is always in control, and he definitely knows what he's doing, for his thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are his ways your ways. They're always higher than our own. God will handle his business accordingly because he always has the final word. Your job is to pray, trust, and believe, and just watch and see what he does. Blessings and love to all. Thank you guys once again for watching Life, Love, Marriage, Divorce Conversations. See you next week.